you're born and raised right here. I mean, 15 minutes from the ballpark here, so obviously you must have grown up as a Cardinals fan.
Oh yeah, 100%. My parents' basement is just plastered with all the big moments in Cardinals history. Was a big part of our life growing up. Going to Cardinals games, being in the old Busch Stadium. We still have rubble from the old stadium sitting in the basement, kind of framed up. But yeah, the Cardinals have been a big part of my life growing up watching them.
That's cool. So obviously you played 4 years of college ball. You were a pitcher. Finished your career over at Bradley. How much did you know about analytics when you left college? I mean, we'll get to P3. I know you spent 3 years at P3 Performance learning even more, but how much did you know about analytics in college and coming out of college?
Yeah, so before I actually started working at P3, I was interning there in the summers while I was training.
Okay.
So I got to learn from Brian DeLunas, who started the business with Josh Kiesel, and I was interning for him in the summers, got to know it a little bit, kind of the early days with like Rapsodo, TrackMan was just coming along, biomechanics was just starting. So it kind of drew me to it. So every summer, instead of playing summer ball, I would come back and intern while I was training, and that kind of gave me my foot in the door for when I was done. I knew I wanted to do something in that realm, and then they offered me a job, and I was off and running.
And tell the folks, I mean, P3 is a pitching lab, right? I mean, what all does P3 provide for pitchers that want to come there?
Yeah, it's a pitching facility out in Wentzville, Missouri. They provide individualized assessments, so we're looking at biomechanics, how you move in your delivery, how you move on the table, your ranges of motion, everything in the weight room, kind of everything that encompasses what you do in the baseball training world, along with like pitch design, kind of understanding your individual pitch traits and what goes there. You kind of collect it all, put it together, talk with the athlete, devise a plan of kind of what they need, and then kind of create a training plan from there.
Okay. Yeah. And so you go from P3 3 years, then you're the pitching coach over at Missouri for a while, then obviously you come to the Orioles organization at that point. What's changed in the analytical world? I mean, I guess what I'm asking you is, like, what do you value now, like as a pitching coach at the big league level? What are you valuing with all the results and data that you have? What do you think the most important thing is?
Yeah, I think before I got exposed to all this information and being around this group, I used to think of things maybe a little bit more broad, like, okay, these things seem to be good, these concepts seem to be good, but at the big league level, it's all about the individuality of, that's why these guys got there. So understanding more about what applies to each individual and what makes sense to them and what the player and the pitcher values seems to be more important to be able to trump that. So it's more about framing our training, what we're trying to learn about these guys around their individual traits. Their strengths are the most important thing, so being able to maximize those strengths, what they do well, really allows them to go out every 5 days or out of the bullpen and capitalize as often as possible.
And when you were Fritchie or working in a bullpen with somebody, or y'all working and watching the game pitcher perform out there, are y'all bumping ideas and, hey, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are those certain things y'all are kind of in tune with?
Yeah, I think it's always an open conversation. Throughout the season, things change. Your body changes, how you're recovering. So it's just an open dialogue between us, Ryan Klemick, Grant Anders, and the pitcher to understand, what these guys need, what we may need to clean up, different ideas that they've had, as they kind of learn hitters, as they learn more about themselves. It's always an open conversation. It keeps going. Was
that always the goal for you when you were in college and at P3 and at Missouri, that, hey, one day I want to be a big league pitching coach?
Yeah, I think that's, a lot of coaches lofty goals to get to the big leagues. Sure. I just wanted to know, how I could help impact the most people possible. So being able to do that on the minor league side at scale, and then being able to come here and impact, help try to impact the wins and losses on the day-to-day, it kind of fires you up. It's a little more, you're a little more locked in every day, every pitch.
That's cool. All right, let's have a little fun. Okay, who would you say on the Orioles staff has the best fastball and why?
Oh man, I would say Craig Kimbrell's fastball is so unique. I mean, when he's done it for 15 years, pitching 800 games, and people still can't hit your eater, right. I'd say that's probably a really special.
Point, a lot of spin. Yep. He's kind of shoved to give the appearance. Ball's coming up shooting. Okay. Yeah. How about breaking ball? Well, whose breaking ball do you value the most on the team right now?
I think Kyle Bradish. I think the power curveball and the power slider. I don't think there's a better kind of combination of breaking balls.
Okay. And what about changeup? If you had to value it, or a changeup or a split finger fastball, either one.
Yeah. Lupin Dean in there with the splitter.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, I love Dean's splitter, but I think John Means' changeup and what it does for him and makes him who he is, I think is probably the best one we got.
Interesting. All right.
Danny Coulombe's going to want me to say his, but he hasn't broke it out yet.